Hey beautifuls, welcome. Happy full moon. It's full moon and we just did this powerful, beautiful, fully grounding. Oh my goodness, did not want to leave ceremony. I was just like, okay, we kind of need to come back, but don't want to leave this place. Where we traveled to was pretty amazing, deep Uluru connection, of course, but deep, powerful connection, like deep into not only the earth, but this beautiful energy of like tiger's eye, deep grounding in. It was so precious, and just obviously deep connection to the land and everything that's been going on the earth. So Dawn, she's like scratching to go out, but she can go out the window. She's like, let me out. I think because the dog's out there. That's funny. So thanks, Lauren. Yeah, we just come out of this ceremony. It was obviously a deep reconnection back to our power center, our solar plexus, deep connection to the earth and everything that's going on. Plus we were in we did our ceremony peak time. One of my attendees messaged me earlier this week and is like, did you know the peak full moon is at the time of our ceremony? I'm like, yes, I planned it that way. I usually do those things. So it was pretty powerful to be deeply in that peak full moon. Plus where I am here in Australia, the sun is rising. It is dawn. Well, it is nearly, I don't know what the time is, but the sun was rising in our ceremony, and where we were and traveled to together was pretty special. So obviously I'm still, feel like I'm still there. So I came on to share with you, hey Sarah, just some grounding techniques, right? So a couple of you had asked me earlier this week, how do we ground? And I know I spoke about it on the end of my live stream the other day, but I feel called to just literally share some grounding techniques just to help anchor in this energy. Yeah, so this energy, these activations, especially if you're consciously tuning into the land, tuning into Uluru, tuning into what's going on, and tuning into what your solar plexus and taking your power back even means to you, right? Sitting here in a beautiful space, integrating this amazing experience. I know, so I'm just on this live stream, I'm like, oh, I need to talk about grounding techniques. I'm not in the full moon ceremony anymore. That energy was just they just powerfully grounding, powerfully here, yeah? So with the energy that came through in the full moon ceremony, but also the energy of Uluru, what it means for the solar plexus to be activated, all that energy coming in, yeah? The message really streaming through is, and some of you guys might have felt it, right? And this is really important if you in particularly, are consciously tuning into these energies, are consciously meditating, connecting to the power of Uluru, connecting to the power of taking your power back. If you're consciously doing upgrades, activations, meditations, healing, if you're consciously doing this work, it is really, really important that you stay grounded. If you're a healer, if you have clients on a regular basis, I can't stress the importance enough that, and the reason I'm sharing this bit is because I've been getting a lot of people come to me and they're like, this is going on. And then they're like, I just had a client and then that was going on for the client. And I'm like, as a healer, as a person who has clients in any way, shape, which or form, it is so important to remember that you feel your clients, you feel anything that's going on before you get to session. So if you've got a client that day, you'll be feeling them in the morning. You might even be feeling them the day before. So when you start questioning, why am I feeling like this? Or what's going on? Tune in, who's your clients? Who have you got booked in this week? Because I guarantee you'll be feeling them. Okay, so it's so important to be so conscious of that, because it can drive you to insanity. It can exhaust you, just so many things, right? Now, how do we really differentiate between what is our energy and somebody else's energy? Now, that does come with practice, definitely, but it also comes with a deep awareness of your own energy. If you want to help and define differentiating your energy to someone else's energy, the fastest way you're going to do that, right? There's so many techniques, yeah, but one really powerful thing is to stay grounded. Not just once every week or once all the friggin' time. Okay, now I'm going to give you some grounding techniques. So especially as we move into 2020, especially when huge natural disasters in the world go on and the collective starts going into all this fear or questioning, or everybody's like, this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong, like da 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 da, right? This is really important. Okay, hey Shannon. So some grounding techniques. Okay, number one is exercise. Now people are going to be like, I don't have time to exercise. I'm too tired to exercise. I'm so exhausted I can't even sleep. I don't know, right? It's kind of like exercise gives you energy. Now I'm not asking you to run a marathon every freaking day. I'm asking you that if you haven't moved your body today, yesterday, the day before, don't let it go 3 days without moving your body. Okay, now that could be a gentle walk around the block. It doesn't have to be going to the gym every day and doing 2-hour sessions. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, keep it simple, but move your body. If it's gone 3 days, minimum 3 days, maximum 3 days without moving your body, and you're starting to feel, like that would be why. You want to clear your energy, you want to ground your energy, the fastest way is to exercise, okay? So when you exercise, it moves your body, right? And when we move our body, it moves stagnant energy out of our body. It clears our aura, especially when we're exercising outside. Move your body outside, whether it's a walk around the block or a walk through the park or a run, half, half walk. I don't care. Move your body, okay? If you don't want to walk, set a timer for 10 minutes and walk around the block, and then you've done it, right? Because the more you start doing that, and set a timer for 10 minutes, because then you're like, cool, I'm only doing 10 minutes, right? And then after that 10 minutes and the timer goes off, you might be like, oh, I might just walk a little bit further. Or you might be like, cool, I've done it, I'm going back home now, Hannah. Like, do you know what I mean? But what it does, it gets you moving. Now, if you're feeling stuck, stagnant, I don't know what's happening in my life, depressed, whatever the story is, if you move your body, you start moving energy. And what happens? Your life starts moving. It all begins with you, okay? Exercise grounds you in your body. Now, some people don't want to do it because we have to face our reality, right? So that can be really uncomfortable. So get support. But if you want to get grounded and if you want to differentiate between whose energy is yours and somebody else's, then move your body. It's the first step, right? Obviously, walking around the block, you can walk around the park, walk further, okay? Do it 3 times and then start walking further, okay? Run, go to the gym. Yoga is awesome for getting in your body. So is breath work, okay? Now, these things, again, like if you're gonna, like, say if you haven't exercised for ages and you're like, I used to go to the gym all the time and I don't go anymore and I feel shit and I know and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, and then you're like, cool, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna get back and do it every day. Especially when you haven't done it for a big chunk of time. It creates a barrier and it creates a block. It stops you from doing it, right? When we subconsciously automatically think we have to go every day, like it's just a thing. Like if you really catch yourself, you'll be like, oh yeah, I have been thinking I have to do it every day, right? And if you haven't been or done exercise for a long time, pick 1 day a week, okay? Pick 1 day, pick every Monday or every Tuesday or every Wednesday. Every Wednesday is my exercise day. I'm gonna either do yoga, go to the gym, or I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna choose one of those things, but I'm gonna do 30 minutes and I'm gonna do it every Wednesday. Why? Because it's manageable. It's manageable to start doing something again, okay? And then as you start doing that once a week, so, you know, what are we now, January? For every Wednesday left in January, you're going to exercise. That's your thing, right? Now, if you happen to exercise more in that week, celebration. If you don't, well, you've still done it on the Wednesday, okay? Now, what that does is, number one, it starts moving energy. What happens when you start moving energy in your body? You start moving energy in your life. Things start shifting, okay? Movement creates movement, yeah? What do we want for 2020? We want to move, yo, right? Don't want to be stuck in the past anymore, right? We want to shake off that energy when you're walking, when you're exercising, when you're whatever. The intention, you can clear and clear and clear as you're doing it, right? Every stomp on the ground is a clear, is a clear. I'm clearing my energy, I'm clearing my energy. It's not mine, it's not mine, it's not mine, it's not mine. If you stamp that every time you walk for 10 minutes around the block minimum, you're gonna feel a different person, right? You're gonna start to feel clearer. You're not gonna feel confused. You're gonna start, you know, having clear energy. You're gonna feel better. You're gonna have energy again. Why? Because you're clearing all the energy that's not yours and you're carrying around like sacks of like backpacks of bricks that are not yours. Like, you don't need to do that, right? Start moving your body. Number one step to being grounded, okay? Now, what is the benefits of being grounded? The benefits of being grounded is, number one, you have more energy. You're clearer. You're not confused, right? You're able to differentiate between whose your energy is and somebody else's energy, and you feel stronger. Why? Because you feel better. You're moving your body. You have more confidence in yourself because you're starting to move again. You're like, yeah. Because even subconsciously, we know that exercise makes us feel better. We know that exercise makes us feel good, look good, good for our health, body, physical, mental, all that stuff. So even the act of moving your body, just, you know, subconsciously, we overall feel better because we deep down know as well. Hey, Lorraine, thank you. Hey, Maria. All right, so number one, move your body, whether that's a walk around the block, whether it's the gym. Only once a week, remember. If you're struggling to do it, don't think you have to do it every day, right? If you do it 2 times a week or you do it every day, great. If you're struggling to get back into a routine about it, choose 1 day a week for the rest of January, okay? So yoga, breath work, obviously running, cardio, swimming, any exercise is going to be awesome for you and it gets you in your body, okay? Okay, so nature time. So as I touched on there, exercising in nature is like a 10x, an exponential growth and like, I guess, amplifier to doing exercise, right? So if you do exercise inside, great. If you do exercise outside, it is like amplifying it, okay? We get to clear energy, we get to, the fairies repair our aura, so any holes in our aura get repaired. And as we, you know, are in nature, like obviously, like I mentioned before, the nature sounds actually reset our energy field, let alone doing exercise and releasing all those amazing endorphins at the same time, right? We can connect to our guides, we can receive the vitamin D from the sun and, you know, get that away from technology bit for a while, right? Ground onto the earth, resets our energy. Yeah, if you can walk on the beach barefoot, even better. So I just wrote a list so I make sure I cover everything. Okay, so the other thing is clothing. So wearing red socks, yeah? Hey Alex, so wearing red socks, wearing red shoes, wearing red underwear is also a, a feng shui thing for success, actually, wearing red underwear, but wearing like red socks or painting your toenails red, because it pulls you down to the ground, right? So wearing red socks or painting your toenails red is like looking, you know, you're looking down, you're grounding down, right? You've got a tension on your feet. Foot massages, and foot massages are really supportive for grounding you in your body as well. As is like foot soaks, like, you know, you can soak your feet in like a bucket of salt water or that sort of thing. Anything to do with the feet or massaging or red socks or anything helps to ground. So if you're having trouble sleeping at night or going to sleep, or you wake up in the night, give yourself a foot massage. And as you're massaging your feet, doesn't even have to be with oil, just push the soles of your feet, right? There's all the organs in your body connect with your feet, just like the reflexology stuff, right? And so when you're like massaging your feet, like I am grounded, I am here, I am in my body, right? Like literally, like I am here, I'm grounded, I'm here. And if your kids have trouble go to sleep, give them a foot massage before you go to bed. You'll be surprised. It pulls people into their body, okay? What else is the other thing I was just going to say there? Oh yeah, I think that was it. About the feet. But yeah, stomping on the ground, I am here, I'm grounded, I am here, I'm in my body, those sorts of words as well. Okay, and foods. So anything that you know is not good for your body is going to send you into, right, we're going to feel more frazzled, right? Blood sugar that's not stabilized, up and down, and it's exhausting, right? Let alone everything else that's going on in our world. Our foods that support our body are things that keep our blood sugar stabilized, yeah? And also like grounding foods. So can you not? Sorry, my cat's like attacking my dress. No, Mimi. So yeah, so foods that keep you grounded, so stabilization of blood sugar. So fats and proteins in every meal. Stay away from like any carbohydrate will turn into sugar once it's in your mouth. So rice, crackers, bread, any carbohydrate. As soon as it's entered into your mouth, it turns to sugar. What does sugar do? Up and down of the blood sugar, right? So if you want to really ground, stay away from carbohydrates, stay away from, obviously you need to listen to your own body over what I say, right? It's not like you have to like completely remove everything, but if you're really struggling, I'm like, just eat grounding foods, right? So some people don't like eating meat, but meat is very grounding, especially cow, and it's obviously honoring the animal, and people don't like it when I say that, but the iron in red meat is very grounding. Obviously you can also get different sorts of iron from plant-based foods, yes, but if you haven't eaten red meat for a while and you're really struggling, it is a really grounding food, right? You don't have to eat much of it to get that, but the iron is iron. Iron is grounding. Iron is the center of our earth, yeah? The core of our earth is iron, yeah? And iron is such an anchoring, like, mineral. It's an anchoring, right? An anchoring portal into the ground, yeah? Now, other foods that are very grounding are obviously any root vegetables. So anything that is grown under the ground is very grounding, yeah? Pumpkin soups or any of the veggie soups, you know, that you can like cook up with bone broths or anything like that is very, very grounding, very nutritious, very wholesome and whole foods, yeah, grounding into your body. Or things like, you know, like any of the roast, you know, veggies or anything like that, anything that's grown under the ground, yeah, is very, very grounding, of course, yeah. So what else? But yeah, the main thing, you know, like, it doesn't really matter what you eat, to be honest, but it matters that you stabilize your blood sugar, because that's the up and down, that's the exhaustion that comes into your body, and then it makes your body weak. And when your body is weak, then everything else affects you. All the other energies that go on our planet and in your reality, they affect you more when your blood sugar is up and down, because your body is weak. It doesn't get a chance to stabilize and heal and get strong, yeah? So, okay, so the last thing, I'm sure there's other grounding techniques that you can use, but these are just ones that came to mind for me to share with you. Thank you. A lot of people saying you love my headband. That was your dad, Mimi. That's amazing. Okay, so the other one is obviously staying away from technology. Now, it's like a, you know, almost a catch-22 in that sense where, you know, when we, so catch-22 in that sense. Okay, I'm just getting a message to talk about the meat and those foods for a second. So obviously, like, going, and it's a bit of a touchy subject with that, because a lot of people think that we need to not eat meat, that we need to be vegan, and it's actually can be very detrimental, especially for women who have given birth to a child, right? There is a bucket load of blood loss that comes from that, and there's a certain, you know, like when we really look at the tribal days, meat and the animal and the whole animal was used, right? The skins were used, everything was used. But especially when a mother has given birth, everybody's different, of course, but the blood loss and even the 9 to 10 months of giving physically to growing another life, there's a lot of nutrients, a lot of things that need to be replenished from that. Now, the first thing an animal does once it's given birth is it eats the placenta. It's like the first thing that it does. It is so nutritious and it puts so much back in the system. Now, a lot of people these days in the whole spiritual movement is like, you have to go vegan and you have to, you know, not eat animals and stuff. And it's like, yeah, no, but it depends on the person, and it depends on if that person has also given birth or not. And I'm a big believer in rebuilding the blood, especially if you've given birth. Now, I can speak from personal experience because I was vegan mostly after I gave birth for like 7 years, and it almost freaking killed me. So, you know, and like I've been on this journey of rebuilding my blood and rebuilding like my body, because it was that depleted from giving birth. And then plus, and I wasn't aware of this, and it literally drove me to like, not just exhaustion, like physical depletion. Like my cells were not carrying, like there wasn't iron, like it just was depleted, like there just wasn't enough. And that was after 7 years of being vegan after I gave birth, which is, if I ever gave birth again, there's no way I'd do that. And so for whatever reason, I'm being called to share that. It's just that, you know, if you are, you know, again, I'm not saying you have to do anything, but if you're struggling with the energies, if you can't stay grounded, if you're so exhausted all the time, and you look at what you're eating in your diet, because a lot of people think going vegan, you know, if you're really truly going vegan, you wouldn't even eat processed food. So a lot of people eat vegan and they eat packet foods and biscuits and crackers and, oh well, it's vegan, I can eat it, when it's just full of sugar and it's literally not the grass that's growing in the garden and the plants that are growing in the garden, which if you're going to go vegan is the majority of your diet and not cooked at all, right? And so it just really depends on the person. There's just like this big spiritual movement where you have to be vegan. A lot of people don't understand what that actually means to be vegan, and they're still eating packet foods and all this stuff, and oh well, it's vegan. It just doesn't. Make sure you eat informed, like really understand diet, really understand what the foods are doing to your body, you know, what your body physically requires for you to be vegan. And a lot of people don't do it to the extent that it needs to be done, and so they suffer more health issues than is actually better of being vegan. Like, do you know what I mean? So yeah, for whatever reason, I just needed to share that. And then, you know, the other thing about 5G and technology is like, have time away from technology. Like going and connecting out on the land in nature is one of the fastest way to reset your energy, but also to gain your energy and power back. Now, in saying that, like I said, if your body is exhausted from the blood sugar state, like destabilization, which most vegans are, it's like this up and down cycle and wondering why we're exhausted and can't be grounded and are so like airy-fairy and spaced out and brain fog. It's like diet plays a massive part of that. And there's like this big, you know, like people think the conspiracy theory is like, you know, the chemicals and everything that people are like putting into food, and the governments are doing all this, like, what is it? The friggin' GMO stuff. And whilst that's a thing, people don't really understand that they're being conned in the spiritual vegan movement by like eat vegan and it's just all this packet food, or, you know, even if they're eating, you know, lots of like not packet food, they're still eating a lot of stuff that is not stabilizing the blood sugar, and it's that exhausts people and, you know, throws people into a spin. And it's kind of like, talk about the real reality of conspiracy theories and stuff, and like it's ripe in every friggin' system. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and this is where it's like, oh, well, this is really confusing, Hannah. It's like, yeah, this is why I teach you to trust your intuition and really tune into what your body is. So if something's not working for you and it's been the way you've been doing it for quite some time, it would be getting some professional support with people who have who are thriving and living in a way that they are doing it from a place where they're grounded and deeply connected to that truth and what's working, yeah? And if not, find your own way, but listen to intuition in your heart, yeah? But yeah, blood stabilization, blood sugar stabilization is huge, yeah? So grounding in, ground. When we ground in and we activate this energy, these higher frequencies that are coming in, we must be grounded or they're going to floor us, yeah? So there's lots of different things that I've given here in this live stream. I've been talking for like over probably 2 hours now, coming out of the full moon ceremony, so my voice... I need to go and refuel myself and get outside and ground in this beautiful, beautiful energy that is the next 2 to 3 days, with obviously our full moon peak that we've just passed, but also moving into our Uluru activation tomorrow with the Saturn-Pluto conjunct exact. So obviously everybody's tuning into it. Stay grounded in that energy and choose to activate it within your body in a grounded, walking on the earth sense, yeah? So much love to you guys, and if you want any support or if you've got questions from anything that I've shared about on this live stream, because I know I've touched on some touchy subjects here, You can send me a private message or comment below, or share it with somebody if you feel it can help them. My Life Purpose Accelerator is open. This is 12 months where we deeply accelerate your life purpose and pull you into alignment, get you on path, and help you to fly on what your life purpose is, what that even means, and everything that is blocking you and stopping you. We get to remove that so that you can move beyond 2020 doing what you're meant to be doing on this earth. Because if you're drawn to me, drawn to reality awareness, drawn to and really resonate with things that I share, you have a big life purpose and you're here to change the world. You're here to support our earth in these transformative shifts that start going on this planet, because it's a big one, and you wouldn't be here if you're not an active part of the leadership in that. So the link is in the header of this, the title of this live stream, or you can send me a message, or you'll find it on my page, and you can just message me with any questions about that. You're so welcome, guys. Thanks for joining live. Enjoy this beautiful energy over the weekend. So much love to you.